Today's video is one of those videos that I'm truly excited to talk about because Shiva is someone who is so close to my heart. And in this video, I really want to talk about, what a lot of men can actually learn from Shiva when it comes to masculinity as well. And in today's time and era, there is something so deeply wrong with modern men where they are so disconnected from themselves. It's not that men are incapable, but they have just lost themselves in the noise of today's modern world. Most of them are disconnected from discipline, they are disconnected from their purpose, they are actually disconnected from their potential. And a lot of them do not even realize that something is truly wrong within them. And the scary part is that most guys even think that it's completely normal to live life in this state of avoidance, being disconnected from themselves, and also living with no sense of purpose within them. But if we look at the most strongest, powerful masculine archetype that has ever existed, that is Shiva, it truly shows you the potential of what a man can be. And it also shows a very completely different blueprint of what a man is even supposed to be. A man who is grounded, a man who is not seeking validation, a man who is still yet very powerful within himself. And that is exactly something we are going to talk about in today's video. So if you're new here, I'm Vaishnavi and I'm a men's coach and I help men heal with their traumas, attachment issues and wounded masculinity in order for them to pursue a meaningful connection first with themselves and then a woman as well. Now, if you want to work on your traumas, your nice guy patterns, your attachment styles, your abandonment wound as well, you can reach out to me to get coached by me. You will find the form to work with me in the description box below. Apart from this, if you only want to work on developing your confidence and masculine energy and getting rid of your nice guy patterns, you will find my courses as well in the description box below. So without any further ado, let's get into this video and let's talk about how Shiva truly represents the healthiest archetype of masculinity to ever exist. So first, let's talk about the real problem with modern men. Most men are actually living their life in a state of autopilot. They wake up without a sense of purpose. They don't even know what they are truly living for. They even go to the jobs that they truly do not respect and they do things that does not make them happy. Why? Because they've been trained to do so. Society has been asking them to live in a certain way where they have completely lost touch with their inner voice, their inner guidance as well. And apart from this, there are men who are living aimlessly, scrolling every single day, just watching Netflix and series, and even eating processed food, like having all kinds of bad habits, which also includes porn addiction as well. And apart from this, a lot of guys are also losing themselves in relationships and they're chasing after women where they feel their life will only be complete once a woman truly accepts him. And every single person is just distracted day and out, and all the energy is basically scattered outward. But none of that energy is directed inward, actually harnessing your life force. And this is something we can learn from Shiva as well. The whole idea of being still within yourself and actually getting connected to your inner world. Shiva is someone who is not distracted, he is not scattered, he is deeply still within himself. He is someone who does long hours of meditation and he is completely within himself. But if we look at men right now, everyone is just chasing dopamine here and there. So one of the most important thing that you can actually learn from Shiva is how to be still as a man, because it's in that stillness that you actually ignite your masculine fire. And this is where I want you to understand the power of your purpose. In the stories as well, we can see that Shiva is not someone who is basically chasing entertainment. He is not seeking pleasure. He is basically detached from the external world as well, and he is within himself. He leads his life on his own terms without actually caring about what other people think of him. And this is why he has secluded himself from society to live life on his own terms. Now, I'm not asking you to seclude yourself from the society as well, but what I'm asking you is stop seeking people's approval and validation to actually lead your life. Ask yourself the deeper question, like, what's your purpose? What are you here to do? Is there something greater that you can work towards, something that's greater than yourself? And it's when you actually work towards something bigger than yourself, it connects you back to your presence and your power. And this is something that even connects you with your higher self as well. When you're connected to your higher self, you know exactly what needs to be done in your life. You have that aim and vision for what you need to achieve in 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What exactly are you here to build? But most men right now, they're actually looking for the next escape, the next thing to numb their inner pain, the next thing to give them that hit of dopamine high. And this is exactly something that keeps you away from a life of discipline where you are constantly on social media, wasting your time. You are constantly, let's say, going and watching pornography so that you can escape the stress in your mind. But Shiva is someone who represents the opposite of this. He sits in silence, he sits in meditation, he sits without any external stimulation. All the distraction and all the numbness and avoidance that you are engaging in your external world, that is just an attempt for you to run far away from all the garbage and nonsense happening in your subconscious mind. But you are not going to overcome that garbage and nonsense as long as you keep running outwards. You need to sit with yourself, you need to master yourself, you need to raise the life force within you for you to become the highest version of yourself. And the next thing I want to talk about is what can you actually learn from Shiva in the area of relationship as well. Most men today, they think that women are very confusing. They think that all women are the same, all women are kind of bad and they take advantage of men. That's not the case. You attracted someone in your life based on your frequency, your energy to actually teach you the lesson that you need to learn in your life for you to evolve to a higher place. But on one side, you can be the victim of the situation and you can actually point the blame outwards, or on the other side, you can sit within yourself and actually find the answer as to what is it within you that attracted this feminine force into your life. And the truth is, women respond to one thing above anything else: a man who is grounded and rooted within himself. Today's men, they're either too passive, they're too nice, they do not have that backbone and spine to stand up for themselves. Or on the other side, there are men who are extra dominant, emotionally avoidant, numb, the so called bad boys of the society. But it's so rare for a woman to actually find a man in the middle who is balanced, a man who is balanced with his feminine energy and masculine energy as well. And this is one thing we can actually learn from the dynamic of Shiva and Shakti. In their connection and their relationship as well, he is not chasing Shakti's attention. He is not looking for her validation. He simply exists within himself in his true power. And this is the one thing that actually makes him magnetic. And this is the one thing that draws Shakti towards him as well. And Shakti is drawn towards him because he is that man who is grounded. He is that grounded, stable, masculine force that can actually hold her. And that is a dance between the masculine and feminine energy. The masculine energy is basically like the banks of the river, the corners and sides of the river, whereas the feminine energy is basically the flow, the water that flows through that river as well. And the feminine naturally gets attracted to a man who is stable within himself because the feminine represents Shakti and the masculine represents Shiva. And this is what most women are actually looking for: a man who is stable enough within himself. Because Shakti itself means creation, means motion, that is life force, which has a lot of emotions within it. That's where a woman's emotions truly comes out. And a man who is not grounded and stable within himself, he has no ability to even actually contain the woman's force and energy in the relationship too. And this is what most women are looking for: a man who is so secure within himself, a man who is not afraid of losing her, a man who has self respect and knows how to actually put his boundaries with her. Because, in a way, a woman cannot feel safe with you as a man if you do not have boundaries and if you are not secure within yourself. If she understands that she can walk all over you, she can be emotionally dysregulated with you and can get away with you, naturally her respect for you is going to diminish day by day. And this is also a man who knows where his life is going. He has that sense of direction. He is a man who has control over his impulses. And he is also not a man who will break under pressure. And that is mainly because when a man lacks these things, a woman cannot trust him. And wherever there's no trust, attraction dies down very quickly. And the last thing I really want to talk about is destruction and its correlation with masculinity. Shiva represents destruction. Time and again, your ego has to be destroyed. You need to go through that cycle of death and rebirth for you to actually become that highest version of yourself. What is every kind of heartbreak? What is a breakup? What is failure in life? This is basically a state where you go through ego death, and that ego death is required for you to actually face your shadow aspects and for you to rise from your ashes. And apart from this, you have to become that man who destroys his addiction. You have to become that man who destroys all that negative thought in your subconscious. You have to become that man who destroys all that self doubt and fear inside you, because that's the only way you can step into masculinity. That is the only way you can become a representation of Shiva in your daily life. And you also need to destroy your distractions, your lust, your weaknesses, and also your need for validation from the external world. Most men try to improve themselves without actually letting go of things that makes them weak, and unless and until you do not face your weaknesses, the shadow aspects, all those limiting beliefs that got created in your subconscious from your childhood, you are not going to be able to progress as a man in your life. You're not going to be able to step into that most healthiest archetype of masculine energy and become an embodiment of Shiva in your living life. And if you are listening to this video and something actually is hitting you, then good, because you don't need more motivation. You need structure. You basically need to clear all the subconscious garbage, the limiting beliefs, and go through a complete subconscious rewiring to actually become a man who is capable, who has that direction, and who is also living up to his whole potential. You need to become that version of yourself who embodies that Shiva archetype within. You have to become that man who stops chasing women. You have to become that man who does not have a void inside himself that he is trying to fill with an external relationship as well. And I work with men who are finally ready to build themselves up, who are actually finally ready to step into their most healthy masculine version. And if you are one of them, you can also reach out to me and apply to work with me using the form in the description box below as well. So I hope this episode was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.